Hey guys, welcome to another youth video. Yeah, not really too much to say in that respect, but there are a couple things, a couple announcements that I want to talk about. First of all, last video had 4 total views, so get your friends to watch this video. The ones, especially the ones who are involved in youth group, especially this one, because we have some important announcements. The first announcement is that we are restarting church on May 17th. That's as much as we know for now. We're going to put a more solid plan together in the next couple days, but we are going to tentatively open up church again on the 17th. I am so excited to finally see some of you guys again. But here's what's important. We're not having Sunday school. Okay? Now, I will be able to have more information when I post the video on Wednesday, because that's my second announcement, but I'll get to that. Later this week, I'll have more information about exactly what times and such. But be preparing yourself, be preparing your hearts and your minds to come back to church May 17th. Really excited about that. Now, second announcement, which is great. First of all, I've got 2 more weeks left of school, so yay me. But after I get done with my school and I have a little bit more time, I want to put together a youth Zoom meeting. And I'm not going to have a lesson, at least not at first. We're just going to get together. We're going to talk about what's been going on. We're going to we're just going to have a good time. Because you guys know, in our youth group, we have 20 minutes of lesson, 20 minutes of activity, and 20 minutes of eating. Now, I can't do anything about the 20 minutes of eating. And all I've been doing up to this point is just lesson. So we do want to create a time where we can all kind of get together, have fun. Maybe I'll have an activity. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But that'll be probably in a couple weeks. We may start it next week. I don't know. It's in the air. It's in the air, not ear. Air. I don't know. So just stay tuned to that. If you have a suggestion, please let me know. You know I am always open to your suggestions. So that's number 2. We're gonna be making like a video group chat, and we'll meet like once a week or something. Okay. Announcement 3 is that I will be putting out 2 videos a week instead of 1. The one I'm going to be publishing every Sunday, I'm going to be reading out of our youth book. Oh man, you can't read it. It's backwards. But anyway, it's our youth book that we've been reading on Sundays. So I'm going to kind of go through that. I'm going to read it and explain it just like I would on Sundays. The delicious muffins and coffee, you'll have to provide that yourself. But hopefully, when Sunday school starts again, we'll still have access to those delicious muffins. I have yet to talk to my wife about that, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be down with that. All right, so that's announcement 3. So 2 videos a week. One is going to be reading from this book. The other one's going to be what I've been doing so far. Now, as for announcement number 4, this is our final and largest announcement. You ready for this? It's big. Mel and I recently... Actually, I'm going to make you guys come back later this week on Wednesday. And maybe I can give that announcement then. Because I think it's just too big to put in this video. I can't put tons of announcements in one video. It would blow your guys' mind. This one's pretty big though. So I'm excited. So let's get started. You guys know we're in the book of James. I ask you guys that every single week, and about 2 of you know what book we're studying. But for the other 10 of you, we're in James, as we have been for the last calendar year. So, here we're in James chapter 2. We're in verse 12, and here's what the verse says. Speak and act as those who are going to be judged by the law that gives freedom. Now, this lesson talks about 2 things. Speaking and acting. In this video, we're just going to talk about the speaking portion. Also, if you're wondering why I don't wear my glasses in these videos, at least in the most recent ones, is because it cuts down on the glare. If you see, I'll demonstrate. If If you guys look, see, and then there's that annoying glare in my eye, and it distracts me. I'm sure it would distract you as well. Hold on, my laptop is running out of charge. I'm telling you, you plan, and something still goes wrong. And you know what? If the only thing you guys do is laugh at me in these videos, I'm okay with that. As long as we maintain contact. Because we miss you guys. I forgot to say that. We miss you guys. We can't wait to see you. I can't wait until Wednesday starts again. I can't wait until Sunday school starts again. There's some pretty cool things in the mix that I'm not going to mention now because they're so early on in the stages, but I'm excited. So, moving on. Here we go. James chapter 2, verse 12. Let me restart. Let me read the verse. Speak and act as those who are going to be judged by the law that gives freedom. We're going to talk about the speaking part right now. And I'm going to start reading now, so these are not my words. James is talking to us about two areas in which we will be judged. First of all, our words will be judged. What we say and how we say it is important to God. Since we are going to be judged in this area, it makes sense that we think before we speak. What does Matthew 12:36 say to you? But I tell you that men will have to give account on the day of judgment for every careless word they have spoken. This means when you say something without thinking about it and you don't really mean what you're saying, God sees and hears those words. And I hate to say it, hate to break it to you, but you are going to be accountable for those words. That verse should get our attention and make us pause. These are not just careless words that we speak in front of others, but these are words that we utter when no one else is around. Like when the jerk driving the car in front of you who doesn't have a clue and should have his license revoked. There are many times I have uttered things in my car that I wouldn't want anyone else to hear. And again, this is the author saying that, not me. But then it hits me. God is hearing everything that I'm saying. Let me run a scenario by you guys, and you guys can decide if it applies. You are alone, and you are thinking about something that happened earlier that day or earlier that week, maybe at school, maybe two girls at your school got into a fight, or maybe you got into a fight with someone at school. That's probably more accurate. And you're just walking along the street, and you're walking home from school, as I know you guys have to do. Well, when school's in session. And you just kind of kicking up dust and you're muttering under your breath. I'm a big mutterer. My wife gets after me all the time. I'm a big mutterer. Not gets after me. She just notices it. And you're just talking bad about this person under your breath, and then you basically start cussing them out underneath your breath, as if they were standing in front of you, but you justify it because no one else is really hearing it. Yeah, God hears that. He does. So make sure that even the words you say to yourself, the words you say in private, are not something you would be ashamed if Jesus was standing right in front of you, because he is. Let's move on. Let me take it a step further. What about the words that we think? Are those a problem? Yes, because God says that out of the overflow of your heart, you speak. In fact, the terminology, which in the King James, which I appreciate in this instance, is, well, actually, no. That's a different verse. There's a lot of verses in the Bible about what happens in your heart coming out in your actions. The one I'm thinking of specifically, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And the things that you think, and the things that you may not say verbally, but the words that run through your head, that eventually is going to come out in your actions. And that's exactly what the Bible says in this case. But I go back to the text. The good man brings up the good that is stored in his heart, and the evil man brings up the bad that dwells in his heart. The Bible also says, out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. The words you are thinking are an indication of what you are putting into your mind. For whatever you put into your mind goes into your heart, and from your heart you speak. Plus, if you are thinking these things, it will just be a matter of time before you start to speak them, which is what I was just saying. How you say something is also important. All right, I'm closing the book right now because let me tell you, I struggle with this. I may have the best, most eloquent. We're not done with the lesson. That was just theatrics. I may have the absolute best argument. I may have the most eloquent way to jab at somebody. I may have this perfect little scenario in which I say the exact right things and they get mad at me because of how I use my vocal intonations, right? So let me use an example because I use some big words there. This is what this means. Well, actually, he gives an example, so let me just do it this way. What if I were to say to you, I'm not upset. Are you upset? I'm not upset. Now, does it sound like I'm upset? Yes, it does sound like I'm upset. Now, my words are telling you that I'm not upset, but the way I am talking tells you I am upset. This is the case usually when you ask someone if something's wrong, they're going to say, no, nothing's wrong. But the way they answer, the intonations of their voice, that matters because it actually lets you know maybe what's going on behind the turntables. So how you say something matters, and this is something that I know that I need to work on. I need to work on the way that I speak to people. Not that my words are necessarily wrong. My words may be fine, but the attitude that I put behind the words, that's big. And I know it's big for a lot of you that are watching this video because you're teenagers, and that's the reality of the situation. Trust me, you don't grow out of it. You do not grow out of it. That's something that you have to work on. So, you can either make it easy for someone to receive what you say, or you can make it hard. Every time you communicate a message, it is made up of 3 parts. 7% is the words that you use. 38% is voice inflection, volume, and how you say it. And 55% of everything you say is nonverbal, meaning how you stand, your facial expression, what you do with your hands, etc. So if I stand with my hands on my hips, a scowl on my face, and in a loud voice say, I'm not upset, 7% of the message really says that I'm not upset, but 93% says I really am upset. Now, let's be honest right now. We're almost done, but hang with me for a second. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. You know how I know? Because you do it with me. I may go up to you and I may say, I'm going to use the name of someone who's not in the youth group so that I don't single anyone out. Matt. I may say, Matt, what's wrong? And this is what you'll do. Let me demonstrate. I won't stand up because then you'll lose my face. But you'll be like, nothing. Or, nothing, Brayden. What's wrong with you? Now, those 2 things tell me, with your words, they tell me, yeah, nothing's wrong. But the way that you say them makes me think, okay, you are really reserved or you're really defensive and something is definitely wrong and we need to talk about it. Maybe. Or maybe just drop it. You know, I'm not a super pushy person unless you're disrupting the class, in which I am. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is something that definitely applies to all of us. So what is easier for you to accept? Those of you who are in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, if your significant other came to you and said, you're just never around, doesn't sound too great. It's going to make you be like, well, yeah, I got to work. I got to do school. Like, buzz off. But if they come to you and they're like, I just miss you so much, which is essentially the exact same thing, you're not going to get upset about that. You're going to be like, oh, honey, I miss you so much too. Let's do something together once this virus ends. Same thing, but they use different words, different body language, different intonations. How about this one? You're a terrible driver. Or, when I ride with you, it makes me glad that I know Jesus. Now, the second one is mildly sarcastic, but it's not nearly as combative as the first. I'm not the best driver. You guys know that. And if you were to tell me, hey, I'm just really glad I'm a Christian when I ride with you, That made me laugh. You know me, I would laugh at that. Or roll my eyes or something to that effect. But if you say, you are a terrible driver, well, I'm going to start arguing with you. Because I don't really think I'm a terrible driver. I know I have my flaws. Anyway, how you say something is important because it will make it either easy or difficult for others to accept the message. So remember, what you say is important. God hears it, even when it's to yourself. What you think is important. God hears it, He sees it, even if you don't speak it. And how you say something matters. Because it's going to determine the effectiveness of what you're trying to say. So hey, tune in later this week for the big announcement, number 4. We will see you at church on May 17th. Do not forget that. I want to see every single one of you there. And lastly, if you guys need anything, if you guys need to talk or anything, you guys have my number, and you can text me, and Mel and I are always here to help in whatever way we can. We miss you guys, we love you guys, and we cannot wait to get back together with you. Have a good week.